Hello students, welcome back to Make Good Food, Make Good Choices. We're gonna put together a Chipotle style bowl similar to the one that you enjoy at school, and it's very easy. I'm using the same exact ingredients that I did with the quesadilla one, sharing some of the herbs and spices, and all of that is a continuation prep of those ingredients, except I added in rice. And so with this, you could do a number of things. You could, if you much prefer the minute rice, you can follow the box, prepare that. It literally takes just a few minutes, but don't you dare peek under the lid because that lets out all your steam. It happens. You'll want to see, but don't. You leave that lid on when you are prepping your rice. I use the Instant Pot for mine because it's easy for me. I don't have to worry of it bubbling over on the stove. So that's just two things to watch for. Make sure that your temperature is correct, that you don't walk away, because you know the top leading cause of kitchen accidents and incidences. Wait for it. What is it? Distractions. I know, it's so easy to do because you're just on your phone or someone is talking to you, or there's an animal in the room and you're talking to the animal, and all of a sudden you go, oh my word, I just forgot what was on the stove, and psh, it boils over. It's happened to me. It'll happen to you. You haven't been in the kitchen long enough, right? If it hasn't. But with rice, you could do basmati, you could do jasmine. This is an basmati brown rice. I used a white rice, just used up what we had. And not it necessarily Chipotle's recipe, but similar to that is the cilantro lime rice. And I took some of this fresh cilantro here and washed it. Hey, here's a tip. You can buy it like this in a pot and then add a little dish of water, leaving your cellophane on, this plastic wrap on, so that you get the greenhouse effect in a window. So that's what I've done with these. It's great to have. Or if you buy it from the grocery store fresh and you want to preserve it a little bit longer, grab a little glass or a cup, fill it with a little bit of water, change your water out every couple of days, put it in like it's a flower, and we're going to create that greenhouse effect. Go ahead, take your plastic bag, put it over the herb, and then pop that in the refrigerator. So that's an easy way. Preserves them much longer. We're gonna go ahead, this has already been washed. I also wanna make sure your hands are dry. When you wash produce or anything, and you go to grab your knife, or you wash your knife because you're gonna reuse it again so you don't cross-contaminate, make sure your handle is dry, your knife is dry, your hand is dry. A lot of times you get cut because you just have a wet hand, so be careful of that. I just have a little bunch I'm going to make as small as I can to make it easier for me, and going through and just giving it a rough chop. That's all we need to do. Some of you like cilantro, some of you do not, and it is a preference, isn't it? I have started to like it. We're gonna go ahead, add in. Now, if you have stems, that large stems, this was a very young cilantro, so the stems were really small and tender, but if you have large stems, go ahead and take them out. So we're gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of cilantro, and I've got a lime here. It's really helpful if you take a lime and you roll it, or a lemon, and you roll it a couple of times to loosen up that lime inside from the peel, and then go ahead and cut that. When you're purchasing, if you're at the grocery store, you'll be at the grocery store buying groceries sooner than you think. And you pick up citrus fruit, you want one that feels kind of heavy and a little bit smooth on the outside. That means that it has more juice inside than it does, you don't want a ton of rind, right? So a small to medium lime, you're gonna just squeeze that in. It's about 2 tablespoons. And every good chef will taste beforehand. We have lime, cilantro, and some kosher salt. I'm gonna do about a teaspoon. And we'll go a little olive oil, again, about a teaspoon. That's gonna loosen up your rice, as will the lime juice. Give it a taste. See if it needs anything more. Maybe you need more lime, or always have a tasting spoon nearby so that you are not cross-contaminating. Oh, that's good. That's very good. That olive oil actually just does a little something to the rice, which I love. And it really does loosen that up. It tastes like Chipotle. So we're gonna go ahead, design a bowl. How are you gonna design yours? I can't wait to see what you come up with. Go ahead and put your rice down. I'm gonna do black beans. These are the seasoned beans that I made for the quesadilla recipe. And we'll do some chicken. Guess what's for dinner at the Pedretti household? A little bit of onion, some red pepper. I like red pepper, sweet bell pepper. And then of course, we're going to do avocado. This is avocado that I had for the quesadilla video that I'm just utilizing. And of course, sometimes you only use half. That happens a lot. And what do you do with the other half? Squeeze lime juice on it and get after your plastic wrap. Try to get as least amount of air in there that you can, because it just naturally oxidizes and it turns black. It doesn't mean it's bad. So squeeze a little lime juice on it and then cover that. And then get the air out. And if there's a little bit of brown the next day, just scrape that off if you don't like it. Otherwise, just eat it with the brown. It's totally fine. So there we go. There is our beautiful Chipotle bowl. What do you think? I can't wait to see yours. Oh my gosh. Is this thing still on? I'm so sorry. How rude. Hey, as always, don't forget to make good food and make good choices.